Hi everyone, I'm Bincat, a serving General of TRA. Today I'm here to give you an update on key aspects of our group, namely changes to progression, our bases, our departments, and the introduction of a roadmap for the entirety of the group that we'll be using moving forward, starting today. Let's get right into it. Progression in TRA can be split up into two categories, horizontal and vertical progression. Horizontal progression is anything related to achievements, regardless of rank. Within TRA, the main form of horizontal progression is through medals. The medal system commemorates hard work and dedication, specifically in relation to remarkable department work and achievements within our elite divisions, as well as showing off combative skills and strong leadership. The main consensus among our members is that, whilst the idea is great, the actual rewards are underwhelming. Not many people are aware of these achievements, there's not nearly enough opportunities to earn medals, and the achievements are not prominent. We recently introduced titles, an in-game name band to chat messages for medalists. The reception has been overwhelmingly positive, therefore we'll be looking into even more ways of customization in the near future. For example, title banners on a custom leaderboard, and an improved death screen. Now as for vertical progression, we are satisfied with the progression of low ranks, but the transition and responsibilities for both officers and high ranks could use some improvement. We'll be adding lieutenants in between staff sergeant and captain. This rank will better prepare aspiring officers. Their focus is carrying out their departmental affairs without having the responsibilities or requirements of an officer just yet. To get lieutenant, you will need to be a staff sergeant within TRA and be in a department. So what does this mean? If you're a staff sergeant in, for example, community affairs, you can now become a lieutenant. As a lieutenant in community affairs, you'll be able to host department-specific events with the main group, for example, game nights, recruitment sessions, and movie nights. Lieutenants are restricted to just the events their departments allowed them to host, so officer perks and responsibilities stay locked behind captain. Another transitioning rank will be Lieutenant Colonel in between Major and Colonel. Lieutenant Colonel is a new senior officer rank, reserved for the best and most dedicated majors. This rank will better prepare senior officers for a transition from officer into the High Command. They have the privilege to participate in High Command meetings as well as access to the group admin to accept and decline pending group members. Every 4 months an election will open amongst the officer corps. In this election, majors can be nominated for Lieutenant Colonel. The top 3 majors of this election will be voted upon by the High Council to rank up. We believe this will make the transition from officer to High Command easier. It also allows us to properly evaluate senior officers for acceptance into the High Command. Now I just mentioned that every 4 months an election will open up. That's because we'll be introducing a repeating 4-month-long roadmap for a total of 3 cycles a year. During each cycle we'll have High Command meetings every 2 to 4 weeks as usual. On top of that we'll have officer meetings every 3rd month of each cycle. During the 4th month of a cycle we'll have a High Council meeting to evaluate our officers and High Command members, to vote on new Lieutenant Colonels and to pick people for new medals. At the end of each cycle, we'll host a ceremony. At these ceremonies, we'll reveal the latest promotions, medalists, and our plans for the next cycle with each department and division. Our departments have also gone through changes. Both warfare and diplomacy now offer monetary benefits to its department members. Now all our departments have monetary benefit in some sort to further stimulate involvement and dedication to each. To make raid leading and defence leading more accessible, we've introduced an internal mentorship system within warfare. As long as new members are willing to invest time into warfare, we'll teach them everything they need to know. Because of this, we'll be able to expand our warfare operations in the near future. Expanding warfare also means we'll be able to take more defences at our bases. We took a look at all of our active bases and made updates to every single one of them to make them more enjoyable to both teams and balanced for all skill levels. The Dam Fort had its numbers changed and has overall been made easier to raid, and City of Anurograd had its point requirements lowered to speed up the pace a bit more. Our sword base, Castle Beaumont, is overall decently popular, so we won't be changing too much here. But we will be doing some balance changes. You can expect to see some phases to become more balanced towards raiders, as well as the carts be more balanced on both higher and lower numbers. Outpost Frostbite took us a bit longer to update. We made the mistake to balance all of Frostbite for elite level players. Players that regularly played Frostbite knew the most optimal weapons, classes and power-ups to use, but new players just couldn't keep up. So to fix that, we rebalanced the entire base and addressed the main concerns people had with Frostbite. Things like trackers being too oppressive, phases being too frustrating, or power-ups being unbalanced. There were dozens of changes, especially for classes. You'll find all of them in the video description, but I'll cover the most notable ones right now. First of all, we made changes to the map that will affect all the phases, specifically Phase 1 and 3. On Phase 1, we improved our terrain work slightly and added additional cover to make the TRA team less subject to people entering their spawn. On Phase 3, we added an area underneath the outpost that connects raider and defender sides. This will make so flanking is a more viable tactic for both teams, rather than just rushing in and hoping for the best. We also made 5 new power-ups, one for each class, and reworked the Tracker's camouflage power-up. The first new power-up is Buckler, a new power-up for the Juggernaut class that equips you with a big shield that can take a hit or two. You can use it to protect yourself and players behind you. A new power-up for the Assault is Armour. Armour gives you a bit of extra health that regenerates out of combat. If you're familiar with Halo, you may like this one. The Medic class now gets the ability to Rally. This power-up will heal yourself and your teammates in a small radius over time. Trackers get access to Pulse. We intend on making a close quarters playstyle for Trackers viable. A power-up that reveals all nearby enemies for a brief moment will help with that. Trackers also have a new camouflage power-up to work with. The new camouflage is active as long as you're on the move. Take a shot, reposition and do it again, but don't miss. Now for my personal favourite, Deceive. With Deceive, sappers will be able to copy the appearance of any player they come across. You'll copy their name, clothes and packages. The best part of Deceive is that this power-up is on a short cooldown, so you can constantly try and confuse your enemies, and sometimes even your own teammates. At least there's an excuse not to wear a uniform this time around. We're currently testing out these Frostbite updates internally. You can expect the updated Frostbite to launch in a few weeks from now. Castle Beaumont updates will launch as soon as they're ready. You'll hear from us from our Discord server when they do. On top of updating our bases, we'll also be updating our base difficulty policy. Easy mode will be referred to as casual, and hard mode will be referred to as elite. We do this because neither easy and hard mode are necessarily easy or hard. It's just a matter of perception. For example, easy mode isn't easy to casual players, so we'll be looking to tune our casual mode into something that's very approachable and fun, whilst elite mode will be a more competitive variant of normal mode, specifically for power clans to play on. The 2 new ranks, Lieutenant and Lieutenant Colonel, will be rolled out in the near future. If you're a Staff Sergeant in any of our departments, then make sure to contact General Dragon to see if you're eligible for promotion to Lieutenant. Majors will have to wait until early April, at which point we'll open up our first ever officer elections for Lieutenant Colonel. We hope you're excited about these changes. Make sure to join our Discord server to stay up to date with the latest news. You can find the link in the description. Also, best of luck to everyone participating in the Warfare Crusade this weekend. Thank you for watching and enjoy the updates.